This morning, we are exploring the 21 file functions of Google Slides. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the File menu. And the first thing you can do is, of course, create a blank presentation just by going here. The second thing you can do is to create a presentation from a template. So if you go to New and then you go to From Template Gallery, then you can pick how you'd like to make that template. That one looks interesting. Let's create one from there. Ta-da! So then you have all of these slides that you could edit or change. All right, let's see how else we can use this. Did you know that you can actually open PowerPoint files with Google Slides? So say, for example, I go to open, and then I go to open a file on my drive. That's actually a PowerPoint file. It will open. It might not look perfect, but it looks pretty good. These are definitely each individual slide from this particular PowerPoint. So that looks pretty good to me. Awesome. Next, you can make a copy of an entire presentation. So say, for example, I want to send this presentation to somebody else. I'm going to go up to File, make a copy of the entire presentation. And then here I can either save this in my drive. Maybe I want this saved in different places. I could choose where I would like this to go. Oh. Maybe I want it to go somewhere else. You can see all of the locations where you could bring it. You could create a new folder to put it inside of. There are so many choices. You could share it with the same people. You can even copy the comments, or you can even remove the speaker notes. Say, for example, you went to some PD and you're copying this document, but you don't need the speaker's notes. You could remove them. All right. Next, you can make a copy of just selected slides. So say, for example, you have this slide selected. It's in blue. Okay. I want to make a copy, but I only want a copy of the first 10 ways that I can use this. So I'm going to make this copy. Here, I'm going to throw this in, let's see, my drive, but I just want to see what this looks like, so I'm just going to throw it in here. Make that copy, and I want to see how this turns out, if it actually just saved that first slide. And it did, just the first slide. Awesome. All right, next. You can share with others. So say, for example, I want to share this whole thing with the people that I work with. So I could go over here, click on share, and then I could add people, whoever it is that I want to add to it. And actually, I'm going to add the music tech teacher at gmail.com. Yep. Because now, check this out. I've got a bunch of options here. So I can allow this person that I'm sharing it with to either be another editor, just a commenter, or a viewer. Now here's the thing. make sure you check the settings on what these people are allowed to do, because if you go up to these settings, editors can change permissions and share. So that means if you shared this with your colleague can change the permissions and say, nope, I no longer want this to be shared. And I believe they can even transfer ownership to themselves. So be careful about that. Then viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. So the safest option really is to put view, because you want usually when you're sharing with someone, you want them to have a copy of it. And the nice thing is, if they do get a copy of it, they can download it. And from there, if there are things that they would like to edit, they can edit it, but they won't be editing your original. And that's the point I wanted to make. All right. So I'm putting this as viewer. Now there is also a copy link. So you can even send a link to somebody that they can just click on, or insert a link somewhere if you wanted to. So say, for example, here's that link that it gave me. But it's literally the same thing. Okay. If you want to or you need to, you can get help about this. So say, for example, you needed more details about what sharing does, or to stop or limit or change sharing, change ownership. There is a whole help section on all of these things through Google, which is right there in the share settings, underneath support. But it's like you have to go to share to find that there. I'm pretty sure you could probably find the same information underneath help, but just showing you that it is right there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to the music tech teacher so we can use that for something else in a second. All right, now, you can also publish your PowerPoint to the web. So say, for example, I want people to be able to see this and see what they can do. If I go up to publish to the web, this gives me some different settings and ways that I can embed this into my website. So say, for example, it's saying here you can share it through a link. You could do this through a link, or probably the most popular way is that people actually embed this into their website. So what I would do, because I have a website, is I would go to embed, and then basically what I would do is decide what I want this to look like, what size, and this is your pixel size, so 960 by 569. And then you can choose how often you want these slides to change, because once you publish it, your slides are just gonna flash on the website every couple of seconds. So for example, well, why don't we publish it? Let's do every 5 seconds. And I'm going to copy the embed code. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to log in. I'm going to edit the site. Now when I go to edit the site, say for example, I wanted to share this on my blog for some reason. So, why not? I could share this today on my blog. So I'm going to go to create a new post. But when I create my post, I'm going to go down to the embed code. Here it is. I'm going to add my embed code here. click on it, edit the HTML, paste it. Now that I have this pasted, see, that's what it looks like, and it looks like it's actually too big. So now that I know that it's too big, I'm actually going to go back and change my embed code. So let's go back to our presentation. All right, it was medium, so let's make it small. All right, let's see. Stop publishing. And now I'm gonna publish again because I want to make sure that it changed the actual embed code. All right, copy. Now I'm gonna go back to my website, edit the HTML, erase it, paste a new one. All right, yeah, that looks way better. Autoplay, yeah. Oh, you can even change it even further. So that's pretty cool. So there's even more about, like, I get even more choices. You know, once I put it on my website, it actually gave me even more choices to be able to, like, change it. All right. Well, anyways, it just gives you an idea. I don't have to make this perfect. It was just, I'm just doing it to show you how this actually works when you actually use embed code and you actually publish something. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this just to show you how this would work. So now if I actually go to the actual blog in the website, because this is the builder. Let's log out of this, and we'll go to the actual website. And now I can show you how this is published. So now we go to the blog. And this is how it's published. And so technically every 5 seconds, it should switch by itself. But it looks like I have the option to just like move it if it doesn't. So yeah, see, it wasn't even moving it. Oh, look at, even as somebody who is viewing this as someone that's just coming to the site, I have all of these options. I can open the speaker notes. I can turn on the laser pointer. There's all these funny options. I can turn on a pen. Wow. And erase it. Oh my goodness. So there's a lot more options here than I thought. I can even enter full screen and see this thing full screen. Wild. Didn't know you could have all these options. Hey, well, that's why we try things, right? And then, let's see. Yep, you can autoplay it. Let's try it. Let's do this quick, every 2 seconds. All right, sure. Autoplay it. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, really simple. And then it looks like I've got a couple more keyboard shortcuts. What would I even use that for? Oh, I see, to exit the slideshow when you open it. Wow, there's so many options here, just even for like a user who's coming to the site to see a presentation. So that's kind of fascinating, and I'm glad I was able to kind of share that with you and show you how these functions can work. And then you could even, like, for example, report this item. Obviously, I don't need to report the item, so I'm just not going to do that. But anyways, that gives you an idea of some things that you can do with some of these functions. And this is just, like, a couple of them. We only got down a little ways. So, alright, I'm going to unpublish this because I don't actually want this on my website. I just wanted to share it with you. Alright, so let's go to back to the blog, and I'm going to quickly get rid of this, and then delete. Cool though, awesome. Alright, and I will do a post later. Alright, so anyways, Now let's take a look. Let's go back to what we were doing. So we did I showed you how to use the embed functions. So next we're gonna, after publishing to the web, just email the file. Very simple. So when you go to actual email this file, it will open up a window, and I think that this is just, it's literally going to open up your Google thing. So I'm going to try it by sending myself a copy by clicking this and see what happens. And I'm going to put in my personal email. Let's see. I was hoping it would just find me and just send it to me. But yeah, and look, you can even send it as a specific file type. I can change the file type right here. If I want it to go as PPTX or just as text or even PDF. Let's see what it looks like if I send it as a PDF. So, sent myself the message. Alright, I'm gonna go to my Gmail. Here it is. So, introduction to Google Slides. Although it looks like it's, oh yeah, no, here's PDF, and there it is. So it's kind of cool that you can change some of these functions relatively easily, or use these functions relatively easily. Email other collaborators. So that one, let's see what happens. So I purposely shared this with somebody else because I wanted to see if it would just bring it up. Yes, it does. So if you have already shared this with somebody else, then you can re-email your collaborators. So say, for example, you changed something in your presentation and you want them to be aware of the changes. Literally just go to email collaborators and you can send the message right here of what it was that you changed. And you can even send yourself a copy. Fantastic. Alright, awesome. So I wanted to check that and see if that's actually what it did. And that is what it does. So that's awesome. Alright. So the next thing you can do here is you can download this into many different formats. So if you look at the download options, you can download this into a Microsoft PowerPoint. So if you want to switch its actual file type, an ODP, I don't even know what an ODP is, so we're gonna try it so we can find out what an ODP is. Open document presentation. Sure, I don't even know what that is. We're gonna find out. Let's see. So it's opening it in PowerPoint. So it could be just another PowerPoint type of file, I'm gonna guess. Okay. Alright. And let's see what else we have for options. As a PDF, we just saw one of those. Plain text. Let's see what happens. Let's see what that looks like. This is what it looks like in plain text. Alright, so it literally opens Notepad and puts the text in Notepad. So if you wanted to save out the text for whatever reason. Alright. Let's see, download it as a JPEG. Current slide. Okay, so let's say I want this to be a title slide, or maybe I want this to be like a JPEG that I use in my video, my YouTube video. So I'm going to go down here, go to download, make it a JPEG, and maybe I can add this. And you know what, let's call this, instead of introduction to Google Slides, let's call it the 21 functions. File functions. Of Google Slides. And maybe I can even use that in the video. See how it looks. Pretty awesome. Alright, nice. Alright, So it looks like you can also do this as a PNG. Say you need a different image type. And you can also do this as an SVG, which is interesting. So SVGs are, people use these files a lot to like make Cricut things. So say for example, a vector. So if I wanted to turn this into a vector, I could. Here, I'm just gonna call it like GS. Let's see what we get for a vector. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be a good vector. But, like, for example, if you wanted to save something like that or create a vector if you needed to, like, for example, if I got rid of all of this text, and I wanted to save the G as one, it might be an easy way to print it from a Cricut, just as a thought. Alright, anyways, next thoughts. Alright, we got all the way to download the file into many different formats. Let's check out 11 more. I think the rest of these are pretty simple. Alright, so number 1, rename it. So, yeah, I'm gonna rename this to the 21 file functions of Google Slides. There you go, it's easy to rename. Moving it is easy. You just go to the file folder right here, and you can choose where you would like this to go. You can hit your drive, choose the folder you would like to go to, and put it into whatever folder you would like it to be in. So, really simple. You can even create a new folder if you need to. Awesome. Alright, add a shortcut. So, say you don't want to save it, the whole file somewhere, but you just want to be able to find this within another location. So I could add a shortcut which literally takes me there, but it's not the entire file that's going there. It's just a piece of it. So same thing, it's just like moving the file. You just kind of add it to a location and it will just show up like it looks like a file, but it just directs you to where the file actually is. Trash it. We'll do this at the end. Okay, let's talk about version history. So to get to version history, you're gonna go up to File and then click on See Version History. This just changes the name of the thing that the file you're currently working in. You don't really want to do that. All right, so if we go to See Version History, you can see how many edits have occurred on each thing, but it doesn't show you the actual specific edits. I mean, it will kind of show you that, yeah, I edited the top. I think I added 11 more right there is what I had changed. And then I probably was typing in here. And then I added the G. But it really doesn't show you exactly what changed. So that's the only issue with version history. Because, I mean, I could look at some versions that I had previously of this same document, which was totally different stuff because I used the same document for another video. So if you did, for whatever reason, lose a document or lose part of this document, you might be able to go back and find the older version, but you probably couldn't restore it to a very specific point, only to a point that had been previously saved by Google. So to do that, you would click on these three dots, and you could either restore this version or name this version, or make a copy of that particular version so that you could revert your document or make a new document, allowing you to keep the changes that you had made previously. All right. That's pretty much it with version history. There's not a lot that you can actually really see. Okay, I just realized I had to start this again to show you how to trash a file, because I forgot to show you the two different ways. So the first way, and this is my copy, so is that you would go up to File, move to Trash. So this literally will put this in the trash. I can take it out of the trash because it will be deleted after 31 days. If the file is shared, contributors can still make a copy of it until it's been deleted. So once you put it in the trash, everybody else has like 30 days to quickly make a copy or it's gone. I'm going to take it out of the trash because I'm going to show you another way. Another way is if you literally go to all of your slides. So let's go to where we actually go into slides. I'm going to open up a window and say, for example, if I was going into slides, and you know how it shows you all of your documents, I don't necessarily need a copy of this. So I'm going to go down here and click on these three little dots. And when I click on these dots, I can hit remove. And again, it will move it to the trash. So that just gives you an idea of how you can do that. You know, I don't need this either, so we'll remove that as well. Anyways, that just shows you another way you can get rid of it instead of just hitting the button when you're inside the menu. Alright, anyways, moving on from that, you can make this available offline. So say, for example, your school has really terrible internet. All you have to do is click this button, and now I can view this whenever I need to, and all the information will be available to me. So that's really useful. Details is just simple. It just tells you about the actual file, like the location, who the owner is, who last modified it and when it was created. So really simple details. Language. One of the cool things about the language stuff though, is here I'm gonna add a new slide. If I choose the language, say for example, I'm going to choose Spanish just because my Spanish is kind of okay. Okay. So, for example, if I'm typing tomorrow, it's going to notice that I didn't put the tilde in there. So if I click on this, it'll correct it for me, which is really awesome. And it'll correct the accents too. So like here, a key has an accent. We're supposed to have one. So yeah. So if I click on this, it will give me what I need to make sure that, you know, I'm actually spelling things correctly within my actual language. The only thing is though, the dictionary doesn't really work. So like if you click on these and then you hit, if you use the, you know, define, it's really not a great dictionary. It will do some words, but it definitely doesn't do all of them. Some. But I mean, it's not even like, that's not even really a correct definition. So like the dictionary functions really don't work from language to language, but it does at least understand what punctuation is correct. So that is useful for language features if you're using it. All right, let's see. Page setup. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. If you go to your setup, you can change the direction of your slide. And you know what? Let's do it on this slide. And here I will copy this so at least there's something on the slide. It's a long video. There we go. All right, so let's change this one. We'll go to page setup. So now this is what it's set at currently. So widescreen 16 by 9 is the normal page size. This is what standard looks like. It's more square. And it'll change. It looks like it's changed all the slides instead of just one slide. And then page setup. Widescreen. It's a little bit wider. And one of the things you can do here is, for example, if you want to create notebooks, or if you use notebooks in your classroom, or if you want this to look like an actual page or notebook, just put in, 8 by 10 is what is a standard sheet of paper, or 8 by 11. 8 by 11. And then you can actually see there is a page setup. So if you wanted it to go the other direction, I think 8 by 10 looks better. But anyways, it's just to give you some ideas of how you can use that page function. All right, let's. Oh, and you can change it 2 inches, which is really what we want for that, anyways. 8 by 10. Let's see if that looks a little better. Slightly. But anyways, that is how to use it. I'm gonna put it back to normal. Is it widescreen? Yeah, it was. Alright. It changes the formatting though. So it moved my, because I changed the actual page formats, it did mess with my images, which is interesting. So if you ever need something to go back to normal, Control-Z will revert everything back, and you can just keep clicking until it goes back to normal. There we go. Normal. Awesome. I think that was our last function. Oh, print preview and then print the whole thing. Alright, so print preview. Here you go. You can see what this would look like if you actually printed it out on a computer. Okay. It looks like there are some other interesting functions in here, whereas you can hide the background. So maybe that will get rid of, I thought it might get rid of my G's, but it didn't. Okay. That's about it. One slide without notes. So I guess you can look at it in different ways. Alright, file. Print. And if you do want to actually print this, know that you can print all of it, odd pages, even pages, or you can custom change it so that it only prints like one slide, like page 1 right there. And then you can change whether it's black and white or color. So it looks like you have a couple of different options. You could change your, of course, paper size. You could print on both sides, but then again, that also depends on the capabilities of your printer. So I'm going to cancel that. And I hope that this gives you an idea of the many different file functions and abilities that you have just using these functions right here, which is quite a bit. Thanks so much. Have a great day.